Welcome to EduSmart Studio. I am your instructor here to guide you with high quality pedagogical content, especially designed for the pedagogy section of competitive exams, including lecturer education, SST, DLO, DDO, Headmaster or Headmistress, and other teaching related tests such as B.Ed, M.Ed, ADE, MA Education, BS Education, and lot more. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to EduSmart Studio and press the bell icon to stay updated with our latest lectures. Let's begin our today's session. Our today's lecture focuses on Taba's model of curriculum. So let's discuss and understand the role of Taba's model in curriculum development. Learning objectives. This means at the end of this lecture, you will be able to explain Taba's model, describe the 7 steps of model, elaborate key features of the model, describe strengths and limitations of the model, and you will be able to solve MCQs on Hilda Taba model. She is Hilda Taba, an American curriculum theorist. Now let's discuss and understand why did he introduce Taba's model? What was reason behind it? Hilda Taba was an American curriculum theorist. She is known for her grassroots model of curriculum development and inductive teaching approaches. Major work of Hilda Taba is her book Curriculum Development, Theory and Practice. Hilda Taba observed that curriculum was often designed by experts rather than teachers, that was rigid and not suitable for classroom situations, and did not focus on students' needs. To solve these issues, Hilda Taba introduced the Taba model in her book to replace rigid top-down approach with a flexible bottom-up approach based on students' needs and teachers' involvement. Her model is known as teacher-centered inductive model and grassroots model that begins with identifying students' needs. Next comes origin of Hilda Taba model. Taba model of curriculum development was proposed by Hilda Taba. She introduced her model in 1962 in the United States, particularly through her book Curriculum Development, Theory and Practice. Hilda Taba model emphasizes curriculum should be designed by the teacher based on students' needs and follows inductive approach. Steps of Hilda Taba's model. Hilda Taba introduced or proposed 7 steps in her model, including diagnosis of learner's need, formulation of objectives, selection of content, organization of content, selection of learning experiences, organization of learning experiences, and evaluation. So let's discuss and explore each step one by one and understand each purpose. First step is diagnosis of learners' needs. This step means identifying students' learning gaps. Teacher identifies learning gaps and interest of the students and observes what students know and what they lack and begin teaching from real students' problems. For example, a teacher observes students cannot read properly or they are weak in speaking English. So need is improve reading and speaking English. In short, Taba's model suggests to find out students' learning needs first, then formulate objectives. The second step is formulation of objectives. This step means setting clear learning goals based on students' needs. Teacher identified what students should learn or what students should be able to do after learning. For example, a teacher set objectives according to students' identified needs. And the identified needs are to improve reading fluency and speaking skills. Then objective will be likewise. Students will be able to read a short paragraph correctly or students will be able to speak simple sentences in English. So the objective is to improve reading fluency and speaking ability. In short, Taba's model suggests after identifying needs, set objectives according to students' needs. The third step is selection of content. This step means choosing or selecting the subject matter or content according to objectives. Teacher identifies important topics, relevant subject matter and suitable level of content. For example, to improve reading and speaking, the teacher select short stories, basic vocabulary, and simple grammar. In short, Taba's model suggests selecting content based on objectives and students' needs. The fourth step is organization of content. This step means arranging content in a logical sequence and proper order. Teacher organizes content step by step from easy to difficult, simple to complex, and known to unknown. For example, teacher organizes alphabets revision, then teach words, then sentences, then later teach paragraph writing. So the organization is a step-by-step progression. In short, Taba's model suggests organized content to make learning easy and systematic. Next step is selection of learning experiences. This step means choosing teaching methods and activities and deciding how to teach the content. For example, teacher uses reading aloud method, group discussion method, role play method. In short, Taba's model suggests select learning experiences that help achieve objectives. Next step is organization of learning experiences. This step means arranging activities in a proper sequence to ensure smooth learning process. Teacher organizes activities step by step. Teacher identifies which activity comes first and how to move from simple to complex and how to ensure understanding. For example, teacher reads first, students repeat, then peer reading activity is conducted, lastly group activity is done. So the sequence promotes gradual learning. The last step is evaluation. This step means checking whether learning has occurred or not. The last step of Taba's model is to improve teaching and learning. Teacher identifies what students have learned, whether objectives are achieved. For example, teacher conducts reading test, speaking activity, and short quizzes. In short, Taba's model suggests evaluation to check achievement of objectives. I hope each step is clear. If you have any confusion, ask your question in the comment section, please. The following are the key features or characteristics of Hilda Taba's model. The first one is grassroots approach, second one is inductive approach, third one is diagnosis of learners' needs, and the last one is flexible and adaptable. Now let's discuss each one by one. The first characteristic is grassroots approach. Grassroots approach means curriculum development starts from the classroom level, means from teaching, rather than higher authorities, and then moves upward to broader curriculum. In Taba's model, teachers play the main role in designing curriculum at the classroom level. They identify students' needs, then plan the content, organize learning experiences according to students' needs. These classroom level ideas are then shared and developed into a broader curriculum. In short, Taba's model is grassroots because it begins with teachers' efforts in the classroom and gradually builds into the broader curriculum. I hope this is clear that what does grassroots approach means. Next come inductive approach. An inductive approach means starting from a specific classroom situation and moving towards general objectives and concept. Taba's model begins with diagnosis of learners' needs, means from a specific situation, then formulate objective and content selection. Finally develops journal conclusion. So Taba's model moves from specific to journal, which is the core of an inductive approach. In short, Taba's model is inductive because it starts from students' needs and gradually builds curriculum objectives. Next comes diagnosis of learners' needs. This means curriculum development starts with understanding students. Teacher analyzes students' abilities, interests, and difficulties, identifies learning gaps and needs, accordingly plan objective and content. In short, Taba's model begins with diagnosing learners' need to make learning relevant and effective. The next characteristic is flexible and adaptable. This means the curriculum is not fixed or rigid. It can be changed according to learners' needs. Teachers can modify content and activities, adjust teaching methods based on students' level, update curriculum according to classroom situations. In short, Taba's model is flexible because it can be changed or improved according to students and classroom conditions. Simply, it allows continuous improvement. I hope the characteristics are clear to you. Next comes strengths of the Hilda Taba's model. The first strength or advantage is focus on students' needs. This means curriculum is designed according to students' abilities and problems. Simply according to students. For example, extra reading practices are done for weak students. The next advantage is encourage teacher involvement. This means teachers actively participate in curriculum planning and designing. Simply, teachers decide what and how to teach. For example, teacher design lessons based on classroom needs. The third one is flexible and adaptable. This means curriculum can be easily changed based on situation. For example, teacher changes teaching method if students don't understand. Next comes limitations of Hilda Taba's model. The first limitation is time-consuming process. This means it takes a lot of time to identify needs, plan and design curriculum. It means it takes a lot of time to identify needs, plan and design curriculum. It needs more time for planning. For example, teacher spends extra time preparing lessons for each class. The next limitation is requires skilled teachers. This means only skilled and trained teachers can design curriculum effectively. Not easy for new teachers. It is not easy for new teachers. For example, inexperienced teachers may not plan properly. The next limitation is not suitable for large scale. This means it is hard to use this model in a large system like national curriculum. Simply, not suitable for big system. For example, different schools may create different curricula. The last limitation is lack standardization. This means there is less control from authorities, which may create inconsistency, and lack standardization because there is no strict rules. For example, each teacher teaches differently, so standards may vary. To conclude, Hilda Taba's model focuses on teacher involvement and students' needs. It is flexible and practical, best suitable for classroom teaching and planning, but it requires time and skilled teachers. That is all for today's lecture. If you have any questions, please drop your question in the comment section. I will answer your questions. This is your assignment. If you found today's lecture helpful and useful, please show your appreciation by clicking the like button. Thank you for watching EduSmart Studio. See you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.